Guys, Brandon here from BigMcLargerHuge Gaming, and today we're here playing Dreams. This game came out yesterday. Finally, it's been a long time, but yeah, we're here, we're playing it, and I've already played it a bit, as you can probably see. So this is your home space. I don't exactly know what you do here yet, but it is interesting. So I go to home space editor. I haven't gone here yet.
A great place to start your creative journey. We're still working on this right now. In time, you'll be able to put things you've made here so it feels like your own.
Interesting. Well, I don't really want to do that. So to start, let's go dream surfing, which is our way to just play some normal games. There's different ones here. People are already creating brand new games to play, which is always interesting. Okay. I gotta see this. So yeah, by the way, the little imp on the screen is... Oh. Okay, this is actually fun. I like this a lot. Okay, come on, let's get this coin. Whoa. If only I could know how to create like this. I haven't actually really learned... Oh, what? I don't know. Like fall damage or something? I don't know, let's just go this way. An enemy, it looks like. Oh, we get him? Not yet. Okay. Die soon? Oh yeah. Wow. This guy takes a lot of hits to kill. Jeez. Okay, so that's my score. And this is really cool. Alright. HP 3. Huh. Okay. Well, I think that's enough of that. I like how you just kind of exit the game you're playing. So let's go deeper. Game. Ooh, that's this 2D game that you saw on the little PlayStation video. Oh my gosh. What? When can I create this? You couldn't create games like this, it looks like. I know you can, but man, this looks awesome. And I like the 3D and 2D and the background. Oh man, yeah, I just need to learn how to create stuff. Oh. Come on. Let's do this. Can you jump on stuff? No? Alright. Ah. Oh gosh. No, did not want that. Alright. I'm on my last leg here. Oh god. Nope. Yeah. Alright. Come on. Da ba 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 da ba da ba da ba da. No 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 no. Oh yeah, the Prometheus FPS demo. Oh, this was really cool. It like made a full RPG. It looked like that. That was really cool. All right. Now that we're here, I am actually gonna go into Dream Shaping Dreams Workshop. Okay. Because I've already done that. I'm not finished that. Ooh, there's a lot of... Huh. Yeah, I want to do this one. Alright, yeah. I feel like this one is one I want to do. I need a puppet to use.
Connie's hosting a talent contest to find the best characters in the Dreamiverse. But she's a no-nonsense judge, and none of these candidates are up to scratch. Of course, Cuthbert's no use, so let's see if we can come up with something to impress her.
Yeah, I want to learn how to do this.
Head into the dressing room, also known as edit mode, to get started.
Oh, usually you go in there to get into edit mode.
In this tutorial, we'll be customizing the appearance of a puppet. So we'll need a blank canvas to start. Go to the Assembly menu and open the Gadgets menu.
Gadgets.
Now open the Gameplay Gear menu. In here, find the Blank Puppet Deluxe. The deluxe version is the perfect starting point for making characters. Select it with X and a blue mannequin will appear on your imp. It has built-in features like jump and possession animations, which the basic version doesn't have. Connie won't be impressed by a basic puppet, so make sure you select the right one. Stamp the deluxe puppet in the scene with R2 or X.
Already
Get
done.
its feet roughly on the floor, but make sure they aren't intersecting with it. Then press the circle button to unequip the puppet from your imp. If you need to, you can grab and adjust the puppet with R2.
Yep.
In the next step, we'll start exploring the puppet's inner workings.
I'm getting more used to the motion controls, which was a pretty big problem for me last night when I first played this.
The puppet might look simple, but it's quite a complex gadget. So let's get to know it a little better. It's made up of many objects that have been grouped together. And just like any other group, it can be scoped into. Hover over the puppet with your imp, press and hold L1, and then press X to scope in. Below the puppet, you will now see its base and its logic microchip.
Okay.
If they're obscured by the floor, you may need to scope out and adjust your puppet's position. the puppet's body is made of sculptures, joined together with connectors. When scoped in, we can grab parts of the puppet to change its pose. Before we do that, find the button called Puppet Mirror in the context menu. Select this button with X, and your puppet will stay symmetrical when you pose it. Of course, you don't have to make it symmetrical.
Yes.
But it's a good way to start. You can always add nuance later.
Oh,
when
I thought...
you move a part of the puppet, all the parts connected to it will also move.
I need to pee. Okay, there we go.
The root of the puppet is the pelvis, and every other part is connected in a hierarchy from there. For example, moving the upper arm will move the lower arm and the hand as well. But if you move the pelvis, the whole puppet will move. Its feet will try to stay in contact with the floor. So if you lower the pelvis, the puppet's knees will bend.
Oh God, what have I done?
You can also rotate parts by grabbing
Rewind,
them with
please.
L2. Use R2 and L2 to create a new pose for the puppet. Changing the pose can be a great starting point for a character.
No,
The
what have I done?
Confident, sad, scared, or aggressive. Don't forget, you can undo any changes with the left directional button if you make a mistake.
Okay, yep, I did that.
Use the grab cam to adjust your pose from different angles. Just hold R1 over the puppet to activate it.
Just in case you forgot,
When you've
which
finished
I did.
posing your puppet, move on to the next step.
Okay, how does that look? Oh, I kind of like that. Alright, let's move on.
Now we've posed our puppet, we can start adjusting its proportions. To do that, we're going to use the stretch tool. Go to the Assembly menu, then open the Tools menu. Select the Stretch tool. It's the one that looks like a double-ended arrow. The Stretch tool works like the Move tool in a lot of ways. But with the Stretch tool, you can move parts of the puppet beyond the limits of the connectors. Try grabbing and moving the puppet's head. Notice the way the neck elongates and shortens. Now try it on the hands. This changes the length of the upper and lower arm. Some body parts respond differently to the stretch tool. For instance, if you move the upper arms, the shoulders will broaden and the chest will expand. You can also scale parts of the puppet using the up and down directional buttons. I'd only recommend doing this to the puppet's extremities though, the head, hands and feet. Puppets are delicate contraptions, and extreme scaling and stretching can make them behave unexpectedly. But if anything does go skew with, just undo it using the left directional button.
Perfect. Just absolutely beautiful.
Mode, you could try scoping into the individual body parts to change their shape. You can find a whole tutorial on sculpting in the art tutorials.
There's art tutorials? I need to learn how to use...
And see what you can create. Try making the puppet more cartoony, or turn it into a monster. Test out your puppet in play mode to see it in motion.
I like this. No.
When you're done, return to edit mode.
Oh god. Remove that.
Rewind
Okay.
time with L3 to get your puppet back in position.
Alright. Oh, hold on. Play mode.
In the next step, I'll show you how to color and stylize your puppet.
Oh my god. This is amazing. I love this. This is the greatest thing I have ever created in my entire freaking life. Just like, yes. And yes, his hands are just like this. Oh my gosh. Alright, play next step.
Another way of customizing your puppet's appearance is by changing its color. We can do this by tinting it in coat mode. If you've played my tutorial on coat, style and effects, you'll already know how to do this. In the assembly menu, go to the modes menu and enter coat mode.
Coat mode. Okay.
In the coat mode menu, open the colors menu and select a color for your puppet. Now hover over your puppet and hold R2 to tint it with your selected color. The longer you hold R2, the stronger the tint will become. If you want your puppet to be multicolored, simply scope into the puppet.
That's what I thought, actually.
Select a different color from the colors menu. Hover your imp over a part of the puppet you want to tint. How about the head? Now, when you press and hold R2, just that part of the puppet will be tinted. You can also use the tools in style mode and effects mode. Try using style mode to change the texture of your puppet. If you don't know how to use style mode, there's an art tutorial which can help you. In the next step, we'll dive into the dressing up box.
Style mode. Okay. Style. Okay. What does this do? Okay.
One of the simplest ways to customize a puppet is by adding accessories. But to make sure they move with the puppet, we need to group them with a body part. Before we do that, it's important to fully understand the concept of scoping in and out of groups and objects. If you've played part 4 of the Start Dreaming tutorials, then you'll already know a thing or two about using groups. Objects in dreams are often combined into groups, which can be treated like a single object in assembly mode. Groups themselves can also be grouped. This means that you can have groups nested inside other groups. Let's try scoping in and out of something else before we invade the puppet's personal space. Over there on the floor is a Hatbox. Make sure you're in edit mode. Now try taking the lid off the Hatbox. The whole box will move because the lid, the box, and its contents have been grouped. Undo the move with the left directional button to put it back in its place. Now scope into the group. Hover over the Hatbox, press and hold L1 and press X. Everything but the box should go grey and blurry. If not, make sure your visual feedback preference is set to all. This shows that you've scoped into the group and can edit its contents. Now you should be able to take the lid off the Hatbox. Inside is another Hatbox. Try taking the lid off this one. I think you can guess what will happen. This smaller Hatbox is also grouped with its lid and contents. Remove the smaller box and place it next to the large one. Now scope into this group by holding L1 and pressing X over the smaller Hatbox. The original Hatbox will go grey and blurry as we've scoped into a subgroup. Now you should be able to open the smaller Hatbox. What's inside? A lovely hat. Take it out and place it next to the smaller box. When you've done that, proceed to the next step.
Why won't you play? Okay.
That okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now that we've taken the hat out of the box, let's try putting it on our puppet. First, we need to scope out of this group. To do that, simply hold L1 and press circle. That takes us back into the large Hatbox group. Now scope out again into the main scene by holding L1 and pressing circle. Pick up the hat. We seem to have a bit of a problem here. The hat is still inside the nested groups, even though it's outside the Hatbox. When you scope in and out, only you and your imp are moving in and out of objects or groups. Unless you're carrying something with you. Scope back into the large Hatbox group, and then into the smaller Hatbox group to get the hat. Now grab and hold the hat with R2, and scope out of both groups with L1 and circle while holding the hat. If you've done it correctly, you should be back in the main scene. With a hat you can now move independently of the boxes.
See what your mom added to your house?
That's because scoping in and out of a group whilst holding an object adds or removes it from that group. Hurrah! Now we can put it on the puppet. Grab the hat, hover over the puppet, then hold L1 and press X to scope into the puppet with the hat. Now scope into the puppet's head while still holding the hat. This is a shortcut for grouping two objects if you're already grabbing one of them. Simply grab an object and scope into another object to group them automatically without having to select them. The same way that scoping into a group while holding an object adds it to the group. Now that it's in a group with the head, place the hat where you want it. Remember to check it from different angles using the grab cam to make sure it's in position. Press R2 softly to nudge if you need to make fine adjustments to the position of the hat. Before you move on, you should try out the puppet to see it walk around with its new accessory. Switch to play mode, possess it with R2, and take it for a wander.
Darn it.
Nice. When you're ready to continue, go back to edit mode. Going to play mode and back to edit mode will scope you out of any groups. Remember to rewind time with L3 to get your puppet back in position. Then go to the next step.
Look.
Okay, let's add some more accessories before our puppet's stage debut. Open the assembly menu and select Search, the button with the magnifying glass, to search for an element. Usually,
Whoa.
you'd be in the Dreamiverse here, but for this tutorial, I've kept things simple and curated a collection of elements for you to use. Take a look at some of the accessories